TC Restani, your host, and I am joined by my panel of experts. I'm going to go right down the line and introduce them. The one and the only, the greatest celebrity snark of all time, South Boston Jeff. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on, TC? Great to be back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, the former barbecue eat-off champion. I know he doesn't like that word. Mr. Warmth himself, Vinny Capelli. What's going on, Vinny?
You had to bring it up, right? You know, I just got through the holidays, and you had to bring it up. Just remember, you can call it the former, but I was never defeated.
All right, go Happy New Year to you there, Vin.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Hollywood Joe is in his house.
Here we go again. Throwbacks to the old days, back and forth. But Happy New Year, guys. It's good to be back. The boys are back again.
And, of course, the former barbecue eat-off champion, Colonel Bull Montana himself, the living legend. How's it going, Bull?
Gentlemen, Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to all our fans out there.
Unbelievable. Always thinking of the fans, and that's the most important thing out there. All right, let's start right off. It's 2015, a year that none of us ever thought we'd actually see come to fruition, but it actually has come to fruition. Big word, I know. I'm sorry. People are nodding back and forth. But New Year's resolutions. Now, we're going to go down the panel down here, and I'm going to start off at you, Colonel Bull Montana. What's your New Year's resolution?
Well, I'm gonna lose some more weight as I.
You have. You look like Rick Rude.
I just want to keep it up, and in my New Year's resolution, I'm gonna be a great guy.
You're already a great guy. So so you're gonna continue on the trend of being a great guy.
That's right.
So that's your New Year's resolution. You're gonna lose weight and be a great guy.
And I also would like to sign autographs for all our fans.
That's a New Year's resolution. Okay, all right. Strange and unusual, but that's what makes you the Colonel. Hollywood Joel, your New Year's resolution.
I'm going to continue on with the tradition of Bull being a great guy by helping Bull be a great guy. And, Bull, you know what? I'd like to work out with you a lot in the new year. Maybe we can kind of keep track of things that we're doing. And I really want a lot of good things to happen this year for the show. We have a lot going on.
We do. We have a lot of things
pretty excited
in the
about
works going on, which we can't talk about.
2014 was great. 2015 is going to be better.
Unbelievable. Vinny, your New Year's resolution?
Oh, boy.
Well, my first New Year's resolution is to stop seeing blue lights behind me, okay?
Oh.
That's number one. I had a little incident. I know I want to bring it up. But anyways, real quick, I got to say something. 2015, one of my biggest resolutions is I'm going to get to the bottom of who poisoned me. And I will say, and this is unfortunate, but I did discover there are certain people who already can be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Accused?
No, acquitted.
Oh, really?
And they're sitting at this table, and you were one of them.
I didn't do it.
I had a
nothing to do
personal
with it.
investigation
I had
going
nothing
on.
to do with it.
You were one of them. Jeff is another one. Joel, I already knew
Jeff wouldn't
wasn't.
remember anyway.
You know I
And
wasn't
actually, I
involved,
discovered that Bull Montana had nothing to do with it. Hey, by the way,
This
I'll tell
is
you this
deep.
funny story. I got a Christmas card.
You did.
Somebody sent me a
Someone
Christmas
actually
card.
sent you a Christmas
Somebody
card?
sent me a Christmas card, but it was written in crayon, and it said,
Bull
"Revenge."
sent it?
It said, "Revenge is mine."
Did you send it?
Ha ha ha! Merry Christmas. And it was in crayon, like a
And it was in
12-year-old
crayon.
wrote it. Or something.
Really?
It was ridiculous.
Well,
So
that's
Did they
very
write the
interesting.
prison code right and everything that you have to have on there? Or?
really, Joel?
Sorry. Happy New Year.
All right, speaking of New Year's resolution, South Boston Jeff.
Well, I don't really have much to complain about, but I'd like to give up smoking cigarettes that are now up to $10 a pack here in Boston, and it's even worse in New York. But, you're giving up that, getting onto those vapor cigarettes and everything that they open up all these new shops for, and, just do more traveling. I mean, besides New York and back, stalking celebrities, just do more traveling like cruises and stuff like that.
There you go.
Do they have cannabis-flavored vapor cigarettes?
I would imagine so.
He'd know.
I'm saying, because that might be good for him.
Why
know.
would you need them? Why would you need them?
What about yourself?
All right, my New Year's resolution is it's going on right now. We're having a secret meeting about the set. So the set is actually going to come to life in 2015.
Yeah.
The brand new set, 2015, is going to be right over in that corner where we're looking at right now.
And you
Unbelievable.
can stop blaming me for it not being done in
All right,
2014.
maybe the kid with the crayon, whoever wrote you the thing, is
I don't
is
know.
behind
but you
all
can
this.
stop blaming
What'd
me.
you do? I heard you put a shutdown on the whole
I
operation.
did- what are you talking about?
He
It
was-
wasn't me. It was
he
Mr. Ronzoni. He was a little upset that I
Carmen
got shafted.
Ronzoni? You're still hanging around with Carmen Ronzoni?
Hey. Anyways,
Ronzarelli?
Listen,
No,
he was a little
Ronzoni.
upset, and he made a couple phone calls, but that got lifted. That embargo was lifted a long time ago.
All right.
was quicker than the one in Cuba, I guess, huh?
Yeah, yes, it was.
All right, but Hollywood Joel, 2015, you do the math, minus 30 was my favorite year of all time, 1985.
Had to be.
And we're talking about some of the classic movies that come out in 1985. Give us a rundown of some of these movies, and we're going to give our opinions of these fantastic movies. And what a list it is. These are like timeless classics.
This is amazing. I mean, it's, Rocky IV.
A timeless classic.
A timeless classic. Spies Like Us.
Another timeless classic.
Goonies.
Well, all right.
yeah.
The Goonies. Now, The Goonies happens to be one of my favorite movies of 1985, one of my favorite movies of all time. And there's still talks of a rumor of a sequel 30-plus years later. Now, what would you think would happen in the Goonies sequel, Vinny Capelli?
Probably have to do with the Goonies helping out their kids, I would say. It'd have to be the original Goonies helping their kids do something. You know what I mean?
Maybe the original Goonies were losing their property now, and the Goonie kids had to go back and get, relics.
One-Eyed Willie's ship took off, remember?
Yeah, so maybe Chunk could help.
Have you seen what Chunk looks like now?
I don't know.
He's a lawyer now.
He's a lawyer. He's an entertainment lawyer.
Him.
Maybe he could help him.
He's got about as much hair as you do, Capelli.
He does.
Corey Feldman's going to be involved. That's great.
If he doesn't OD.
That'd be even better.
Well, if he doesn't shoot his wife doing Playboy. Hey,
who's going to play Sloth? John Matuzak is dead.
Well, Sloth they can kill
That's
off.
true.
You can't kill off Sloth.
Who's going to play Mama Fratelli?
Baby Ruth.
Well, she was
The Fratelli brothers. That should
They're
be.
still alive.
The Fratelli brothers come back after 30
maybe
years.
maybe Chunks, not Chunk.
maybe they did that time.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Sloth over here. Gets him out of the
Hey,
pen.
is the movie A Night in Red Velvet in there?
No.
That was 87.
That
it
was
was
2
87.
years
That was
later,
87.
in full respect to you, it's not on the list.
All right,
but,
well, next movie.
American Ninja.
Oh,
Michael Dudikoff.
Michael Dudikoff, probably the greatest ninja of all time. Forget Bruce
second
Lee.
greatest ninja.
Forget
No,
Bruce
second.
Lee.
Not Bruce Lee.
Second.
Bruce Lee.
Jet
no.
Li?
Cho
No,
Yosugi.
It's
Cho
the best
Yosugi.
ninja of all
Was
time.
the 80s ninja.
Revenge of the Ninja,
But that was
Enter the Ninja, Ninja 3, The
1983.
Domination.
Who
Good
played the
stuff.
ninja in that one other than Michael Dudikoff? Remember the guy? He possessed great skill.
You know, I
The
forget
Black
who it
Star
was,
Ninja.
but he reminded me of an older version, on a taller version of the guy that went, the plane. He kind of looked like him.
I actually thought he reminded me of an Oriental Burt Reynolds.
That could be an Oriental Burt Reynolds.
All right, Brewster's Millions.
Oh, classic
You guys
movie
like
there
Bruce
with
Richard Pryor and
John
Candy. Cat's Eye. Jeff.
Well, yeah, I'm a big fan of Malcolm McDowell's, and Nastasia Kinski was looking quite good in that. So yeah. I wasn't really allowed to watch it at the time because it came out back then, and I was about 12 or 13.
I think you're thinking about Cat People, Jeff.
yeah,
No.
Cat's Eye.
Cat's
Stephen King.
Yeah.
Oh,
Drew
well,
Barrymore, little
little
Drew
too
Barrymore.
much vapor there, Jeff.
James Wood, Firestarter Kid.
All right.
Day of the Dead. Fletch.
Oh,
Fletch with
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase. Fright Night.
Welcome
Sure.
to Fright
That was
Night.
one of my favorites.
You're so cool, Brewster.
For
That is
real.
now actually that's gonna be one of those classic B horror movies.
Throw on
That's
at
a
night.
cult classic.
Yeah, that's
you know
a
what I
good
mean?
one, man.
Have you seen the remake?
Yeah,
It's actually
with,
decent.
With Colin
Colin
Farrell,
Right.
and the other kid. It wasn't too bad.
Wasn't bad.
Didn't the other guy make a cameo in it?
Yeah, the original,
did.
the original Jerry
Yes, he did.
Dandridge.
I didn't even
made a
see
Jerry
cameo.
Dandridge made
You
a
can't
cameo.
mess with my original Fright Night, so I didn't even watch it.
Jay
Colin.
Giles Band did the theme song
Yes,
for
he
it.
Oh,
did.
that's pretty
But
cool.
it wasn't
though.
sung by Peter Wolf. It was sung by Seth Justman.
Well, there it goes then. Crush Groove.
I know
That's
Cedric.
a breakdancing movie
I
or
know
a rap
Cedric.
movie.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
it was.
Cedric Claus's
Oh, yeah.
favorite movie.
Once Bitten. Jim Carrey's
Jim
first
Carrey's
movie.
first movie.
That's right.
And
Real
Lauren Hutton,
Genius?
Yeah.
Real Genius. Now, there were
You
two
guys like
things in
Real
Real
Genius?
Genius that were awesome about that. The ending with the popcorn and Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. That's where the movie, the song came.
Yep.
That was probably Val Kilmer's best movie.
Second best.
What was
Oh,
his-
Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Yeah.
what was the guy's name who lived in the closet
And what?
in Real
Oh.
Genius?
I don't remember.
Laszlo.
Laszlo.
And
That's
what else
right.
is he in, TC?
He became Uncle Rico and
That's right.
Napoleon
That's
Dynamite.
He's the best part of the movie.
That's right.
It's right. He
And
had, he
besides
had,
that weird
he had
kid
all the
Mitch.
Frito-Lay
Yeah, he was winning all these contests and stuff. Teen Wolf.
Michael
Phenomenal.
J.
Of
Fox.
course, that was like getting
Amazing
us ready
movie.
for Back to the
Now,
Future.
the only reason they made Teen Wolf
Well,
is
the
why.
only reason they released Teen Wolf was because of Back to the Future. Teen Wolf was filmed a year before.
Yep.
And it was actually filmed on the same street where Marty McFly's parents' houses were.
Yep.
And Michael J. Fox was, I wish I could be in a Steven Spielberg movie. Then, lo and behold, he was a year later. The only reason they released Teen Wolf because Back to the Future made a fortune, and they were like, we have this movie sitting on the shelf and it has the #1 movie star on the planet in
With
it.
Styles.
So we'll just stick it right on. I love Teen Wolf.
I thought it was a great movie.
Did you do urban surfing on the top of a
Hell
van?
yeah.
Of course.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What about you, Colonel? Have you urban surfed on the top of a van?
No, I haven't, TC.
Would you be willing to do that as a resolution for this
Come
year?
on, Bull.
Well,
No, thank you.
my urban surfing was actually on top of a vehicle that had moving blue lights. You know, I was trying to hold on and
Give
run,
me a keg of beer. All right, weird science.
Oh,
Jeff,
Kelly LeBrock.
You just met, and the picture's on the screen right now. As you can see, Jeff and Kelly LeBrock.
Ah,
yeah,
she's
she-
beautiful.
Do you know
As
she
you
got
can
the
see,
crap
she's still
kicked out of
looking
by
gorgeous,
Steven
and,
Seagal?
She's beautiful. What?
used to-
Steven Seagal beat her up?
He used to be
When they were together?
married, yeah, that's why she
Have
divorced
you
him.
seen, well, Kelly LeBrock is still a knockout, but she could probably kick Steven Seagal's
Well,
ass
you know
now.
who's
Who
helped-
else was in that movie?
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony
Anthony
Michael
Michael Hall, Robert Downey Jr.
Ian Mitchell's whatever
What's
his
his
name
name
was.
there? Bill Pullman.
Oh.
Not Bill Pullman. The other
Bill
guy.
Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
And also that guy from The Hills
Shit.
Has Eyes, I think, right? At
yes,
the end?
Yes.
I don't know his
Michael
name.
Berryman is his name.
You know, yeah, I knew Jeff would know.
I
Now,
could
you
be
know who
wrong.
Kelly LeBrock could have used as a little backup against Steven Seagal? Bruce Leroy from Last Dragon. You guys ever see The
Great
Last Dragon?
movie.
I've never
The
seen the
Last
last
Dragon.
Dragon.
Show
takes
enough.
Show enough in Harlem?
Who's
The
the
twice.
master?
Yep. Jeff,
I
you
can't
know.
say
He
yes, I
actually, now I
have
heard,
seen
is
that.
it true that he just died, the guy that played Shonuff?
The guy that played Shonuff just died,
Yes.
and the guy that played the little brother of Bruce Leroy
Yes.
got shot like 3 times in Harlem in the stomach
What's
last
his name?
year.
50 Cent?
No, he
Moving
got
down,
shot
moving
like
down the line
Sorry.
there, Hollywood
a
Joe.
legend.
Legend with Tom Cruise and Mia Sarah from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
You guys are friends
Legend.
with her.
And
Not with her.
Tim
Curry as
Tim
Darkness.
Curry as the Lord of
Yeah.
Darkness.
That was a
Yep,
great
yep.
role and
Breakfast
great
Club?
makeup.
great. That's another cult
That's
classic.
a big one. Death Wish 3.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
Stop right there.
Death Wish 3, is probably
Charles
Charles
Bronson.
Bronson's greatest motion picture of all time.
time.
That's a good one.
I'm to have
Pee-wee's
to
Big
agree with
Adventure.
you.
Well, we're still talking about Death Wish
Oh,
3.
go,
we
go,
love
go,
Death
go.
Wish 3.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many good lines from Death Wish 3, but they're like forgotten lines, like I smelled something cooking. Great. It's stuffed cabbage. It smells wonderful. My friend Wildy is coming.
Who's Wildy? Wildy turned out to be his gun. And, of course, for the Star Trek perverts
his
out
gun?
there, Counselor Troy got raped by Bill from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in that movie.
That is correct.
Oh, my God.
He was like the white gang member.
And we actually
Yeah.
saw her not too long ago at a convention, and she was like, "Oh, me and Alex Winter talk about that rape scene all the time, but I've never seen that movie. I will not watch that movie."
Are you serious?
And
That's funny.
point of trivia, that was supposed to take place in East New York. You know where that film was actually made?
Where?
England.
Was it?
It was actually filmed in England.
That's crap.
That's how they
I
do
know
things
that
in home.
because who actually Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin actually appeared on the soundtrack to Death Wish 3.
Really?
It says in the slide guitar.
Colonel, have you seen Death Wish 3?
No, I haven't.
How
Do you have a Death Wish bull?
It's
Not
been
in the
30,
new
it's
year,
been
brother.
30 years, and you
Yeah, I
haven't
know.
seen Death Wish 3. Okay.
I could run over to the front of the studio, grab it from the drawer, and clunk you on the head with it.
What else you got?
we'll have to remedy that
All right,
situation.
National Lampoon's European Vacation.
The worst of the
The
National
definitely the
Lampoon.
worst.
worst
The
one.
Now,
worst
I
one.
forgot about this one, but TC wanted me to throw it on there for our friend Jeff. Police Academy 2.
Oh,
Citizens on Patrol.
No,
that wasn't Citizens
Oh,
on
no,
Patrol.
Which Police Academy 2?
Police Academy
Police Academy 2
2
was
was
Police Academy 2.
Their
back
first
in
assignment.
their
Oh,
first
What
first
do you say
assignment.
about it? It was
With
their first
Gutenberg?
assignment. It was
First
a piece
assignment. What's his? That's the one where they go to.
That's when Zed was introduced. Bob
Yeah,
Can't
yeah. Zed- yeah,
in
Zed was
Hightower
introducing
and-
them.
I voted for you.
Yeah.
and it introduced Captain Mauser.
Yes,
Yowza,
that's the first
yowza.
one. Mauser.
Oh, yeah. And Proctor.
Oh, coming, sir.
You know-
Lance Kinsey, he actually has his own acting class now. The guy who plays Proctor.
Yeah, that's why he hasn't a job since Police Academy.
You know something? The best actor I ever seen from Police Academy 2. Who's the guy with
Gutenberg? The Goot?
guy with the guy with the shark rifle with the sunglasses?
You mean Tackleberry?
Tackleberry.
Tackleberry, rest in peace.
Tackleberry's no longer with us.
Rest in
there.
peace, Tackleberry.
But yeah, he was your favorite actor. Yeah, he was a good character in the
He
Police
was
Academy
okay.
movies.
Yeah, I've met a few of the actors
then
from Police Academy, but I was talking to Leslie Easterbrook about him, and she said the reason that they hired David Graff, Tackleberry, is because he looked like he had Down syndrome.
I would love to go get hammered
You
with
know-
Michael Jones. The guy that
You
makes
know-
all the noises.
Oh, yeah, from Spaceballs.
From Police Academy.
And yeah, he's in a ton of stuff.
You know, there was a great football player that was in
Hightower, right?
Hightower.
The late Bubba Smith.
And the biggest movie
Biggest
from
movie in
1985.
How could we forget?
TC?
The greatest motion picture of all time, and I'm sure if Chip's in the building, he'll agree with
Return
me.
of the Jedi came out in 1985.
Back to the Future.
Back to the future.
Back to the future.
Return of the Jedi was the greatest movie of 1983.
I got my pockets turned inside out right now.
Back
You
to
have
the
to.
future.
It's 2015. You
What
have
about
to wear
Raiders of
your
the
pants.
Lost Ark?
That came out in 81.
And what about Temple of Doom?
84.
And
Last Crusade?
Yes.
89.
okay.
Oh,
Kingdom of
snap.
the Crystal Skull. Oh, wait.
That
Oh,
was terrible.
snap.
We don't talk about Kingdom of Crystal Skull. That was terrible.
Why don't we do that? Unbelievable. Now, think of the list we just gave you of
Amazing.
movies that come out in 1985 alone. Forget about the rest of the 1980s.
amazing.
It's just 1985. I'm getting through my earpiece from Airwolf Chris. We have to take our first big-time commercial break. And we come back. The madness will continue. This is the After Hour Experience. I'm TC Restani. And let's go back to 1985.
Hi, this is Leah Thompson, and you're watching After Hours with TC Restani.
Alrighty, welcome back to the After Hour Experience. I am TC Restani, and we are back from 1985, but we got a little viewer mail going on there, Hollywood Joel.
Yeah, we got a piece of mail from young Justin LeCount up in Nashua, New Hampshire, who watches us on 5/7, and he asks, we get a lot of mail, but I think you guys are going to be all over it
All right.
and know the trivia and stuff. I'm not sure. I had no idea what this one was. But what kind of car does Doc from Back to the Future drive in 1955?
That would be a Packard.
Amazing. Packard Super 8 convertible. I had no idea. I was like, they're going to be all over it.
It was yellow.
I knew. Did they show it in the movie?
Yeah, that's the one where Marty took his mother to the prom.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
the one
the
he takes them
enchantment
on
of
the
the sea
prom with?
dance.
I tell them these guys they can't. All right. So now we got Vinny's favorite movie,
Of 1985?
1985. I'm gonna give. We'll go
This is for
around.
me, Bull, and Jeff.
Yeah,
right?
you, Bull, and Jeff. All right, Bull. Is it Goonies, Rocky IV, or Fright Night?
I say the Goonies.
All
You
right.
would say that, wouldn't you?
TC, same thing. Rocky IV,
Yep.
Goonies, or Fright Night?
I'm going to have to go with Yo, Adrian.
He fights the Russian, the Mad Russian. Bridget Nielsen's in it. She was hot then.
He was married to her then, too.
Oh, wasn't Sylvester Stallone with her at one point?
He was married
Oh,
to her.
yeah.
He was married to her.
Oh
at that
yeah,
time,
yeah. All right, all right.
I'm going to go with Rocky IV.
Jeff, what do you think? Vinny's favorite movie, 1985, Rocky IV, Goonies, or Fright Night?
Out of those three, Rocky IV for Vinny.
Vinny?
The Rocky Force have it.
Oh,
The Rocky Force have it.
Yo, Adrian,
Although
we did it.
I am
Yo.
going to say Goonies came in a very close second with a tie on this whole list. I was asked this question.
there was another one too.
There was Fright Night and Teen Wolf were my third favorite movies.
Teen Wolf, but we don't want to give you four choices to pick from. But
No,
Teen
just
Wolf,
three.
He loved Teen
Unbelievable.
Wolf.
I agree. Teen Wolf was a good movie.
It's a good flick.
All right, what other questions you got there? Trivia questions.
All right, this is TC.
All right.
A movie
I'm
that
out of this.
TC did not want to see. He was very adamant. Yeah, sit back, TC. Very adamant about not seeing in 1985. Could care less about it because we'll tell you the reasons. But Jeff, movie TC didn't want to see in 1985.
Yes.
Back to the Future, The Goonies,
Yes.
or Teen Wolf.
I happen to know for a fact that it was Back to the Future.
That's what he says. What do you think, Vinny?
Knowing TC as long as I know him, I'd have to say it was probably Back to the Future. Just because of how much he loves it, it would probably be the one movie he didn't want to see.
Like it messed him up so much that
Like,
he loves it now?
Like his hatred for the movie or not wanting to see it made him love it.
Like Luke and Vader?
No, that's
Like-
different.
like-
That's father and son. How
Yeah, but
dare
he
you.
hated him so much that he
No,
loved
Luke
him.
never hated Vader. He loved his father.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, Bull,
Back to the
TC's
Future.
movie he did not want to see. You think he did not want to see Back to the Future?
Correct.
The guy who loves Back to the Future more than anything. The guy who I've been in a DeLorean with 5 times, and I've only been in a DeLorean 5 times. This guy didn't want to see Back to the Future.
Correct, sir.
TC?
Well, my Three Amigos here, which I do. Did that come out in 1985? It might have.
I don't think it's
I
terrible.
think, well, whatever. Tonight it did. Three Amigos and the World. You are correct. And there's a backstory to that.
Is it a Back to the Future story?
It is a Back to the Future. Boom, boom. I was not a fan of Family Ties or Michael J. Fox, and I did not want to go see this movie. And everybody, all my friends at the time, were twisting my arm. Oh, come on, man, it's Alex B. Keaton. You got to go see this movie. I said, I want to go see The Goonies for the 14th time. And they're like, no, let's go see this. And I reluctantly went in on the matinee, July 6th, 1985, in Somerville, Massachusetts, at a movie theater that is no longer there.
Assembly Square?
Assembly Square, which is now dust and rubble. I remember when this was a farmland as far as the eye could see. I went in, and from that moment on, I have seen that movie at least once a day or once a week for 30 years.
Wow.
So that was the movie I did not want to go see in 1985.
It's amazing.
How about that?
All right, so now we have Bull.
We have Bull.
And we have a lot of Bull at this table.
All right,
So
Colonel.
1985.
All right.
Bull broke it down to 3 movies that were his favorite. Like a lot of us did, Rocky IV, Spies Like Us, or Goonies.
Okay.
And
good.
we all seem to have great taste, so yeah.
All right, I'm going to say that Bull's favorite movie of 1985, I'm going to go on a long shot here. I'm going to have to say Spies Like Us.
Jeff, what do you think? Bull's favorite movie, Rocky IV, Spies Like Us, with Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, great movie.
Donna Dixon.
Goonies. It's up to you.
Well, I'm going to have to say Bull most likely went and saw Rocky IV.
All right. What do you think, Vinny? What do you? You're his Rocky. You're Apollo, Rocky, Drago. Back.
Me and Bull aren't Rocky and Drago by
He's
no
more
means.
Paulie.
I'm Rocky. That's my Paulie. Okay.
All right,
I've known
all right.
this man a very long time, and as much as I can be mad at him at times, like when he robs me of certain things, like hot dogs, I'm gonna say that I know Bull well enough to know that it was Rocky IV.
Wow.
Bull, what was your favorite movie of 1985?
Yo, Adrian, it was Rocky.
Rocky IV, unbelievable. Have you even seen Goonies or Spies Like Us?
No, I haven't.
All right. Then how did you pick? How are they your favorites if you didn't even see them? Would you like the poster?
Did you guys know a little bit of trivia right here, real quick? Speaking of Rocky IV, the next Rocky movie is going to be called
Rocky
Creed.
V?
No, Creed.
Yep.
Creed.
And it's actually Apollo's son who's going to be fighting, and Rocky trains him.
Now, the last Rocky movie was pretty good.
Rocky Balboa
I
was a
thought that was
great
a good
movie. I
flick.
thought that was great. Rocky V, I don't even consider because that
I
was
like
terrible.
Tommy Morrison,
it was terrible.
but
That was like
no.
Friday the 13th, Part 5, which did come out in 1985.
1985.
And that was
Yep.
terrible,
What
too.
was that? The new
The
chapter?
New
It was
beginning.
with Jason.
A new
beginning.
beginning.
It was-
That's with the ambulance driver.
It was Roy,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
ambulance
it was-
driver, who was doing the Jason gimmick.
What? One of his kids got murdered early, and that's why he went and did
His
it?
kid was the chunky kid that was at the nut house.
With the
He
chocolate
goes,
bar.
"Man,
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
That's not
At
very
least-
funny, Vic.
I knew that.
At
Yeah,
least
yeah, yeah.
in Friday the 13th Part 6, they kind of made it. They brought back what's his face, he was
Rorschach?
older, and he stabs a
Rorschach.
body and he brings him back to life.
Yeah,
kind of
but
retarded.
none of that,
but,
yeah.
Hey, speaking of movies back in the 80s, when did Nightmare on Elm Street come out? The first
Nightmare on
one.
Elm Street
84.
2 came out
84.
in 1985.
And do you know that I've read something on that
You read?
Of course I do. I'm a very educated
They
individual.
got a library in there.
Oh,
I'm
they
a
do.
very educated individual. So, anyways, the character originally was supposed to be gay. The guy that
Freddy
Freddy
Krueger?
the guy that Freddy busts out
Yup,
of.
and the
Really?
He was
second
supposed to
one-
be gay in the second one, and they changed it.
Wasn't Johnny Depp in the second one? Or
No,
the
the
first
first
one?
one. That was
I've
his
seen
first
a
movie.
making on the second one, and they talked to the main kid in it,
Yep.
and Freddie, and they're both saying, yeah, we should have saw that coming. The gym scenes with
Yes.
the gym
Yes.
teacher and stuff like that. There's whippings going on.
Yep.
Jeff, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
This has been on my mind since I was a little kid, and one of my friends told me that there's a scene in Friday the 13th, where Jason gets the mask. I've never seen a scene where he actually gets the
That's
mask.
in Friday the 13th, Part 3.
Does he
That's
go
in
into a
part 3.
sporting goods store?
No.
No, he walks in and goes, "Hi, I'm a serial
No,
killer
my
and I
friend
need a
made it
hockey
sound
mask."
like he killed someone and took the mask in a store.
Take it away, Jeff.
Well, Jason didn't get his mask until he got it off Shelley in Friday the 13th, Part 3. Yep. Because Shelley, the practical joking kid, who is now also a lawyer of some sort. But
Larry Zerner, I believe his name is.
Yeah, but that's where Jason got his mask from Shelley, who, and it was pretty much, nobody thought it was going to catch on the way it did, but it just happened to become the trademark.
Is that the one with Tommy in it? Is he the one trying to scare Tommy all the time?
That is Part 4.
Part 3 was in 3D.
Oh, Part 3 was?
Yeah.
Part 3 had the black guy who was
Dana
a gang
Kimmel,
member.
I believe.
That's right.
And
Jason didn't have the hockey mask
they
until
had-
halfway through the movie.
They
That's
had
correct.
Dudley, right? They had
did have
Dudley from
Dudley.
Different Strokes. They had Horseshack.
Right.
I mean, they were rolling.
They
Too
also
bad-
had George McFly himself in
Part 4, he got a corkscrew through the hand and a meat cleaver through the face.
Oh, jeez.
Not to mention Larry
Crispin
Monahan
Glover.
from The Last American Virgin.
He was a jabroni. We ain't going to mention him. So does
Okay.
Jeff have a trivia thing for 1985, his
No,
movies?
Jeff, we don't. Jeff, what's your favorite movie from 1985?
Just get to the point.
Well,
Break it down,
let's
brother.
see, I'll just tell you, I liked the Goonies a lot, but let me tell you an interesting story. I wanted to see Goonies again for a second time, but instead, my mother thought it would be a waste of money to see the same movie twice in the same day, so I had to see the crappy Wizard of Oz remake. It was called Return to Oz.
With Fairuza Balk, where they whip her in the beginning and they send her back to the wizard.
I think you're the only two
yeah,
human beings that have
Fairuza
seen
Balk
Return
played
to
in
Oz.
it.
I am.
There was
know.
a guy with a pumpkin head, and
Yep.
it was just bad and
I like the Michael
confusing.
Jackson version the better.
I don't even have
Wiz?
to ask.
Yeah, The Wiz.
I'm getting through the earpiece. I don't even have to ask Airwolf Chris what his favorite movie is of all time, but you can come over the loudspeaker and give it right out to you, Chris.
Chris.
Your favorite movie of 1985? The Goonies. Unbelievable. What
Hey,
we gonna do?
did you know that in 1985, I got to tell you a little secret about Bull here. He was part owner of a theater down on Causeway Street. It was called the Pussycat Theater. He was there all the time. All the time.
Isn't that where Pee Wee Herman from Pee Wee's Big Adventure, which came out in 1985, learned the tricks of the trade?
Yeah, they had a balcony there, right?
I don't know, TC.
No,
He
you don't
pleads
know.
the Fifth. See, I
he
told him.
takes
What did
the
I tell
Fifth
you?
Amendment on there. And on that note, we're going to take a big-time commercial break because Colonel's got to whip up a batch.
Elastic tubes and pots and pans, bits and pieces, and the magic from the handle make it weird science. Things I've never seen before.
For a decade, viewers have only experienced After Hours the only way known possible, on the 4x3 screen. But if you've only seen it this way, you haven't seen it at all.
Alrighty, welcome back to that big-time commercial break. This is the After Hours Experience. I'm TC Restani. We are talking about 2015 celebrities we think are going to tap in 2015. I'm going to start off with you, Vinny Capelli.
You know, a lot of people, a couple of shockers this year, but for me, and it was kind of how it all happened. Honestly, I'd have to say the Ultimate Warrior from the WWE, WWF, just because there was, if anybody's a wrestling fan, they knew there was a lot of turmoil, a lot of tumultuous times between them, and then he gets inducted, and then, 3 days later?
A couple days later, he
He died.
And the night before he died, he gave that cryptic.
Gives that cryptic,
You know,
very powerful speech.
man's heart beats for the last time, and then the guy drops dead
You know,
the
you
next
think,
day.
and he looked phenomenal. You see him out there, and then
I hear that from so many
To me-
people. I don't know as much as you guys do about it,
But that was
people talk about that all
2004.
the time.
But you're talking-
2014.
That was 2014. So you want to go?
I'm talking about that was
Okay.
the shock for me. I'm sorry.
Okay,
people
well,
look
we
back.
can
Shocked
do
me.
an amendment to this question here.
Okay.
The biggest shocking death of 2014 and the celebrity you think is going to die in
the
2015.
celebrity who I think is going to die in 2015. Oh God, that's a good question. I'd have to say, I'm going to go back with my 2014 prediction. Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
He's still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. Oh no, let me rephrase that. I'm sorry. I do think someone's going to die this year. Bill Cosby.
Oh.
His bank
He died
account.
last
I think with everything going on, he's going to wind up having a heart attack.
Or he's
and
going to
die.
off himself.
Well, yeah, or he's going to commit suicide.
He's
Choke,
gonna,
choke,
I say
choke on some
Bill Cosby.
Jello pudding.
Bill Cosby is my person, I think, and I think the biggest shock for me was the Ultimate
That
Warrior
was a
death.
shock when the Ultimate
It really
Warrior
was,
died.
and it was actually heartbreaking because The guy comes up, you know, he gets inducted, and you see him with his wife and his family and his 2 girls, and then you read he's on Raw the next night, you know, and you see him, he comes out, gives that speech, and then you read he gets rushed to the hospital and he dropped dead.
It's
And
such
like,
a good thing,
wow.
though, because if that didn't happen, it would be a totally different story.
Well, because there
one of
isn't-
those other sad wrestling
Well, like
stories.
this year, the person who should have been inducted years ago ain't going to be there to take his induction. Should be the Macho Man Randy Savage.
And speaking of the Macho Man Randy Savage, you know he debuted in the WWF in 1985.
in 1985.
Oh, 30 years ago. Unbelievable. Hollywood Joel, your biggest celebrity shocking death of 2014, and the one you think is going to tap in 2015.
The Robin Williams, the way it happened, I didn't see that coming. You know,
I don't think anybody did.
I don't think anyone did.
Not even Robin.
It's tough. I'm a big fan of Robin Williams, you know, my whole life. So from Mork to Good Will Hunting to all of his What Dreams May Come, he just seemed happy.
He just couldn't
always
hang around, huh?
He always made me happy.
And he's
all
one of
that
the
stuff.
nicest celebrities that you'd ever want to meet.
That's what I hear from Jeff. And you guys have met him a million times. I'd love to meet him. I mean,
But he
not
was
now.
he
gonna
suffered
be
what
my
manic
answer.
depression almost.
Well,
Correct?
he found out that he had Parkinson's
Parkinson's.
disease.
Yeah.
And he decided to just,
not
do what
deal
he
with
had
it
to do.
anymore. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I'm still going with my pick from last year. I just hope Larry King dies soon. That's it.
You just want to choke him with those suspenders, huh?
That's it. I hope Larry King dies.
Unbelievable. Colonel Bull Montana, the biggest shocking death of 2014, and who do you think is going to die in 15?
Well, the biggest shocking death was the late Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers, huh?
That was a shock,
good
too,
one.
because it was
Yeah,
a
that was a good
standard
one.
procedure, and the poor woman died.
She looked good.
I tell you.
And the-
Yeah,
19, I
she
would,
looked
in
great.
1985, I would have given her something.
and my prediction for 2015 is
I got nervous. He's looking at me.
Jeez, what
And you
was
can't
that?
say
What was
yourself
that?
either.
the gentleman from Back to the Future is going to be ready to kick pretty
Which
soon.
one?
Who?
Doc Brown? Christopher Lloyd?
Mr.
He
Lloyd.
looks the same as he did 30 years ago.
You're off the Christmas list.
I mean, not Mr. Lloyd. I'm
Michael J. Fox, you think is going to tap?
Oh,
The old man Strickling?
Old Man Strickland.
You don't even know who that is, do you? You have
Slackers.
no. You have no clue.
Slackers.
But you're predicting this guy's going to die.
who did you mean, Bo? Michael J. Fox?
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Forget it.
Okay, well, first of all, for the most surprising is, of course, I'm agreeing with Joel, Robin Williams, because I have met him so many times, and he seemed to be the nicest guy in the world, always very outgoing, always very interested in having what you have to say, and just very outgoing, and he seemed to be such a happy guy, and he was just the type of guy that you're glad to know he's out there and glad to know he's alive and and putting a smile on everybody's face. And you're actually the one who called and told me about his death, TC.
That's right.
And oh my, I just couldn't believe it. It took me a second, but Robin Williams.
It was almost as shocking as the year before when James Gandolfini died.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Tony Soprano. I mean, that came out of
But I mean,
left
Robin
field.
Williams, though, it's you go back 30 years, and
Go back
every
longer
memory you
than
have,
that.
you start to look at his movies on IMDb, and you say, "Oh, wow," you know.
So who do you think is going to tap in 2015, Jeff?
Well, I think, not that I would love, I would kind of love to see it happen, but I think Lily Tomlin's running out
Lily
of time.
Tomlin from 9 to 5?
Yeah, sure.
You,
Well,
you ever- Jeff,
like,
you ever see that video on YouTube of her fighting with that director in the car?
Well,
Oh, it's good. Look it
is
up.
It
Lily
recent?
Tomlin, YouTube fight.
TC, what about
Well,
you?
maybe.
I'm going to agree with you that the biggest shocking death of 1985 of 2014 was the Ultimate Warrior. That came out of nowhere, and that made worldwide news. Very similar to when the Macho Man passed away. When the Ultimate Warrior died, I mean, that was like on CNN and everything, that the guy did the most cryptic message 24 hours before he passed away. And it was just, you couldn't have scripted that any
Well, that's
better.
the thing. You couldn't. That was. Yeah, you just said it. You can't script that. It was meant to happen like
Right.
that. You know, and it's just. It was more heartbreaking for me. I mean, I know you people think I'm colder than friggin' what it is
Han
outside right
Solo
now.
and Carbonite.
But I do have a heart, and seeing that his kids up there, and then all of a sudden this poor bastard dropped
now
dead.
you know how your kids felt when they saw you through bars.
What kids?
You know what your kids. You don't want to admit to them, but you just said you had a heart. I don't know if biologically they're your children, but I don't know if you're really a father.
Listen.
Every kid on Maury Povich, when they said you're not the dad, I always
I would
assumed
never
Vinny,
go on that show because
No, I just always
kidding
assumed Vinny was the dad, even though he wasn't on the show. Whenever they said you're not the dad, I just assumed Vinny must be.
All right, what actor,
Now,
celebrity?
who's tapping?
I think Jeff Goldblum's done.
Oh, I don't
Jeff
know,
Goldblum, no.
Yeah.
No, you
Why?
can't be.
Why?
I
He
don't know.
got the new Jurassic Park movie coming out.
Is he in it?
He's not even in
I
it.
know, but he can't die.
I
Why?
thought they were going to make The Fly 3.
You know, you can't. Jeff Goldblum. I thought you would have said like William Shatner or something.
No, I've already wished death on him.
Yeah,
too many
we
times.
might kill him ourselves.
Right.
All right. So since we're on movies, can I ask a question?
Go right ahead.
All right. We're a bunch of movie gurus here. 2014 just passed. What was the worst and best movie of 2014?
Well, unlike 1985, where there was a classic coming out every 5 minutes,
Right.
I saw one movie in 2004, two movies in 2014.
That would be The Hobbit, Battle of Five Armies.
Right.
And please tell me you didn't go see Interstellar.
I saw Interstellar.
Oh.
Now, Interstellar wanted me to go to sleep for about 1,000 years so I could reach planet.
Matthew McConaughey?
Matthew
in it?
McConaughey was great
Yeah.
in The
No,
Wolf
I
of
don't
Wall
know,
Street.
yeah.
That's one of the. That was
yeah.
one of those movies that Christopher Nolan did, right?
Right.
That
Yeah.
kind of like that Inception movie where you have to think like, what the hell's this guy doing?
Sorry, I saw 3 movies in 2014. I saw the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters.
Of course.
Oh,
That was the best movie I saw in 2014.
That was the best one. All right. So what was the worst?
The worst movie I saw? Oh, Interstellar, without question.
Really?
Without question.
Jeff.
The worst movie I seen in 2000. Well, I was with him, so
So you saw Interstellar, okay? What was
Yeah,
the best
so-
movie?
the best movie I've seen so far. Well, Wolf of Wall Street was the
You
greatest.
liked Wolf of Wall Street. Bull.
I'm gonna agree on them. I'll go with Wolf of Wall Street
As the best or worst?
as
the best?
as the best as the best.
You know, it's
picture.
funny you guys mentioned Wolf of Wall Street. Joe, I'll get to you in a second. But the girl in that movie,
Oh, my God.
My favorite line ever.
God.
I just saw
Oh,
The
no.
Wolf of Wall Street for the first
think
time
you could do it.
on Netflix, and my favorite line in a movie in the last 20 years was, "I would let her give me AIDS."
Okay, great. That's great. That's great. Okay,
you could say
and,
that, but-
and Joel, you?
That was the line in the movie.
I'll tell you, I
what's
know.
his name said?
Tomorrow,
Hill.
I'm going to see 2 movies.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen last year. I can't even remember what I saw. Oh, you know what? The Equalizer. I thought was a great
With
movie.
Denzel?
It was filmed around here.
I mean, that's only like the 5th movie he made like that.
but it was filmed around here. I
Yeah.
saw the bus I used to take to school in East Boston. I liked it. Another movie I just went to go see, and I didn't think it was going to be good. That movie, The Purge.
Yeah, so
That was a good
yeah,
flick.
all right.
I mean, I was surprised. I thought it was going to be another
Bull's
stupid
purging. You
movie.
see how much weight he lost?
Yeah, the Bull's purging. But that was it. I don't even know what to go see tomorrow. I'm maybe The Gambler, maybe the.
Is Kenny Rogers in there?
Yeah, but
I
that's
wish.
this year.
Yeah,
Now,
I know.
I will say for myself, I saw a lot of movies this year. I got to say,
In 2014.
2014, I should say, I saw a lot of movies. I did like the new Dracula that came out with the dude from
I didn't even know
The
there was a
Hobbit.
new
They came out with the
I didn't
Dracula
even know there was
movie.
a new
Oh, me
Dracula.
neither.
It was a Dracula movie that came out. It's actually coming out on DVD next month. But of all the movies this year, I have to say my favorite I looked forward to it was The Hobbit, Battle of Five
I actually
Armies.
fell asleep during that.
But I will say this.
You know why? Because Reno wasn't in it.
I know Reno wasn't in it, but you got to check it out. I know some people aren't biblical, and I'm not biblical. I'm spiritual, but I'm not big biblical. But the Exodus movie with
Batman?
with Christian Bale was phenomenal.
Oh, Christian Bale's a great
was
actor.
a phenomenal movie. It was
Yeah?
done right. They did it right. And this year,
Unlike Noah, I'm going to go back to
Noah was
2014.
terrible.
That
that
was
might
the
be
worst
the
movie I
worst
saw
movie.
in
I heard about
2014.
terrible. I couldn't even follow
They had
it.
the rock creature from the Neverending Story
Yeah, I
helping them
couldn't
build the
even follow
goddamn
it.
ark. How did that happen?
I love Neverending Story.
I
but
mean, I went to Sunday school. Not once they mentioned giant rock creatures
Yeah, no.
helping Noah build the damn ark.
but you got to see American
They
Sniper.
look like
I heard
strong
American
hands,
Sniper
don't
is the
they?
movie to see
I
this
could
year.
see that. That movie.
American
I could see.
Sniper. That, and of course, we're all waiting for end of 2015.
Star
what are we waiting
Wars
for?
Star Wars.
Episode
There
7,
we
The
go.
Force
I
Awakens.
wanna go- I wanna go
which
check
right
out-
now I'm going to put on my list as the best movie of 2015.
I am with you.
I want to
am
go
with
check
you.
out that Birdman movie with
Michael
Michael
Keaton.
Keaton. That looks like a good flick.
What
Kinda
about you,
plays
Colonel?
himself
What are you
a little
looking
bit.
forward to in 2015 other than free Chinese
Life.
food later? No.
He's waiting for the
Star
barbecue
Wars,
eat
Will.
off.
I'm waiting for
Star Wars.
Oh, you know what, Bull? A movie that you're in, the one with the Whitey Bulger story with Johnny Depp and all them.
Yeah, that comes out this
Black
year too,
Mass.
right?
Yeah,
Black
that's
Mass
that
comes
comes
out this
out
year.
in
Black Mass.
late December.
This year.
This year,
and
right?
Bulls are in it, so people can go
The
and watch
Colonel
Bull
is in it.
in
I
the
actually
movie.
saw you breaking bread with Johnny Depp. Why don't you talk about your experience real quick with Johnny Depp down at the pizza
doesn't wanna
kitchen
talk
on Revere
about it.
Beach? No, why is it? Because you thought you could play a better Whitey Bulger?
No, because Bull's old school. You
I
don't
went
t- you
down a
don't-
couple nights
stuff
and
like
and
that.
saw
You
them
don't talk
filming.
about.
Saw them filming down there. A few friends of
It was
mine.
with Whitey.
That Bull's
All I
friends.
just want to say hello to one of the best, one of the
Easy
New
for you
England-
to say.
Excuse me, folks. One of the New England directors was Scott Cooper. I'd like to say hello to Scott Cooper.
That's right. You're close friends with Scott Cooper, who's the director of Black Mass, and is actually. So I know that you're going to be in some DVD extras that supposedly that were filmed down at the Pizza Kitchen.
Speaking of DVDs.
And by the way, where Scott Cooper went, he went to Emerson College, right? Which is
Unbelievable.
was the radio and TV.
Dennis Leary went there.
Yeah.
Jay Leno went there.
A
The
lot of good guys
Fonz went there.
Yeah, Fonz went there. Yeah.
Hey.
Unbelievable. So that was 2015. But a big show I was talking about was 1985, which was 30 years ago. And I can't believe that it was 30 years ago. You realize we are now exactly the same amount of distance from Marty McFly was from 1985 to 1955. That's
crazy.
Does that make you feel old?
30 years. Trivia.
Yeah.
Not for you to answer.
I won't.
What date did he return in Back to the Future 3?
What date?
What was the date he came back in Back to the Future 3 to the present?
Well,
Jeff.
and I can't answer that?
No.
Oh.
Jeff.
The exact date, the
Gotta
month,
think
the
Jeff
day,
knows
and the
it.
year?
I know you already know the answer.
Right. But you think they're going to know
but
it?
I'm
I
gonna
wanna
have
see if
to
they
think about this for a little. Like, okay, yeah.
Joel?
I don't want to embarrass myself by saying the wrong answer.
Yeah, all right. He came back the day after because I remember
No,
that
that was
Jennifer.
a movie. That was a movie about nuclear war the day after.
No, he came back the day after.
Bull shaking his head. No. All right, answer it.
Girl, get in there.
No, Jeff might have it.
Yeah, he came back the day after. Like,
Oh, that's
because,
the answer.
yeah,
Oh.
because
yeah, but what was the date? The date. We know it was the day after, but what was the exact date? The month, day, and the year.
All right, that would be November 5th.
Wrong. Bull, I know you know it.
I say November 7th, 1985.
Wrong. Can I answer it?
Answer
It
it.
was October 27th, 1985.
That's correct.
We know you know that.
I know. It's a movie.
He
I
goes
didn't
back
wa-
in time
I didn't
and
wanna-
gets the
I
answer
didn't
if
want
he
to
has
see
to.
it.
That's correct.
Unbelievable. So real quick, 2015 predictions real quick, down the line. Vinny Capelli.
Predictions
for 2015.
as far as what? What do you want to
Anything.
predict?
Anything. Comes first.
You know what I'm going to predict?
What?
I will regain my barbecue title.
Unbelievable. Hollywood Joel.
A good year for everyone on the show, for everyone that watches the show. We're going to have a great year, guys. 2015's ours.
Bull Montana.
2015 is ours, and the Red Sox are going to win the pennant this year.
Bull! All right, I rephrase that. The Patriots are winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually going to cry on December 18th, 2015.
Why
That's the
would you
day,
cry?
That's the day that Star Wars Episode 7 comes out.
But why do you cry?
Tears of joy.
Oh, as long as they're joy.
Because it's the first Star Wars sequel since 1983.
this is true.
Jeff, predictions for 2015.
Oh, I'm going to try to finally meet my favorite radio icon, Howard Stern. So,
Unbelievable.
Wait.
A couple
well,
guys.
I've
TC's
been
not your
stalking him
favorite?
for years, but I think I predict that I'm going to finally meet him.
TC's not your favorite?
I think that Donnie and Dave, our
Signature
friends from the show
Boys.
Signature Boys, are going out to do
They're
some
gonna be
stuff
going
with
on
Howard
that.
Stern. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I've known
Unbelievable.
TC isn't my favorite of all time because I've known TC since I was
Since
a
before
kid.
radio.
Hey, I got another
Yeah,
prediction.
since before
Airwolf
radio.
Chris
Airwolf Chris.
will knock up his wife. And kid number 2 is on its way.
You think that's a safe bet there, Airwolf Chris?
Airwolf Chris just ran out of the studio, people.
And on that note, I want to thank you for listening to the After Hours Experience. I'm TC Restani along with
The Colonel, Bull Montana.
Hollywood Joel.
the one and only Vinny Capelli.
South Boston Jeff.
and just like the TV show, which will be returning in 2015,
We never close.